This morning. It's Wednesday morning. I don't know the last time I've talked to you on a Wednesday morning. We usually spend our evenings together, but um, I wanted to kind of talk about your customer service experience and see if I could get some feedback on just customer service and what you've been going through, and has your customer service been bad? Let me get this. Like, I feel like there is something I want to I had nuts this morning and it's there, but that's not legitimately like a tooth problem, but it looked kind of gross. But we're live, so I'm rolling with it. But it's not got it's gone. But what if I just left it there and you're like, oh my god, miss health. But I wanted to talk about, seriously, about customer service. And I just am so disappointed with customer service recently. I just wanted to see if anybody else is going through the same thing. And I don't know why. Like, every time when I go live, I don't know if you can see it, but it says making your money work. That's cute. But that's not what I titled this. If I would title this anything, I would say, um, I would title it as Fannie Lou Hammer. The Because I'm so disappointed with a customer service issue that I had at a car dealership, and I was like, I'm gonna have to express myself. So I had and continuously, for me, I used to drive expensive cars, and the customer service in the service department was horrible. So now I drive a much less expensive car, a Jeep, and I go to the Jeep dealership and I need service because it was intermittently starting, and 2 years ago. And they said, "Oh, nothing's wrong, nothing's wrong." And I'm like, "No, I'm telling you, sometimes it doesn't start, and I have to give it like an hour to wait, and it won't start." So then, they send me with nothing fixed. So a year later, I take it back, and I'm like, "Look, it's still doing the same thing," and it's not really a good thing for any person to have, especially a single person, to have a car that's not starting. And one of my clients said it's definitely a fuel issue, and I told them that, like, and then I did everything that I could do. Like, they were saying, like, do the cleaning the fuel and all this stuff and whatever. So anyway, I did everything that I could possibly do because they did not do it. And they checked, put it on the diagnostic machine and everything. And that was a year ago. A year later, I go back and I go, it's doing the same thing. It's still not starting, and I have to leave it there sitting. So then, and I remember growing up, my parents like talking about car dealership problems. Like, my parents went through something with, they were driving an Audi at that time, and they would take the car in, and the Audi would say that, okay, we fixed it, and then they would, and it wouldn't be fixed. And it's amazing to me that when not amazing, disappointing to me that when a customer complains, everybody looks like the customer is the problem when they're complaining about something like extremely valid. And so the so and those of you that are coming in now, like this, I would like your feedback. I don't know if you could see like the topic or that it put on there. It's like in some sort of default setting, but I'm actually talking about customer service. I'm not talking about making money at work unless you're in customer service. this this could definitely help you make more money. So I finally take it back, and I'm like, you haven't fixed anything, something's wrong. So then, they finally go, oh no, it needs a fuel pump. You need a fuel pump, and a radiator, and all of these like basic things. Because I'm at the dealership. I'm not even like trying to cut costs. I'm going straight to the source. I'm like, I'm gonna get my car serviced correctly, going to the dealership. So when the dealership, they finally, no apology for me going through this torture all this time, because a lot of people would have just gone ahead and bought another car, but I was just insisting that my vehicle is paid for and this is not a major problem and this is a error on their part, and that they have not like figured this out, and they don't really care. They just didn't care. So I take it back. They realize the problem. They tell me all these parts that I need, how much it's going to cost, and then I go okay. And then they said when I came to pick up the car, because they said they had to order the parts, but they'd be in a couple of days. But they wanted me to pay for all of the parts, and I paid for all of the parts. But I came back and did a survey with my customers, and across the board, everybody said, especially the men, that I should not have had to pay for all the parts. These weren't anything special parts. And mind you, the dealership, and the Wrangler is probably the one that they sell the most, or one of their leading sales, or whatever. That's what they're known for. That is not a specialty part. So then I go back, because I haven't heard from them. And I'm like, do you have all my parts? You promised that you were going to call me when everything got in. No call that everything got in, nothing. So then I go in, and she says, well, just bring it back. And I go, no, because I don't like when they just sit it there. I want to put the car in and get the car finished. If you give me a day to come, I come that day. And then I said, give me a day to come and bring it back. But I'm disappointed that you didn't call me, that you had all the parts. And I'm also disappointed that I had to pay for all my parts up front. So I go and inside, and then a customer service person, or a person that works there, and so it's a sister. And I explained to her that I had to pay for all my parts up front. And I feel that that's not the norm. That's not what you ask everyone to do. And then I put out, the $1,600 for the parts. And then nobody calls. So there's just sitting there, with my money basically. So she says, who did that to you? So that was my cue also, that that's not the norm. So the lady in customer service, she said, well, we always charge tip you pay for parts if it's a specialty part. These aren't specialty parts. So that I said, I know, but these aren't specialty parts. And then she's just speechless. She didn't say, yes, these are specialty parts. She just says, so. So we have an issue. So I write a letter to the general manager, and I write down 1, 2, 3, 4, these are my complaints, formal complaint. And they say, oh, he's on vacation. So I never hear anything. Now it's time to take it back today to get the parts put in. The general manager does not call back when he gets back. And they tell me today, the salesperson, he said, let me tell you, he has 7 stores. He has 7 stores. And he has 7 stores. And I says, what are you saying? Are you calling yourself getting loud? Or are you supposed to be angry at me? And then the person that drives the shuttle that was to take me back, he says, the shuttle driver, a brother, looks at me and says, are you ready to go? Now, I'm in this office talking to why the general manager didn't call me back. And the brother comes in and says, are you ready to go? Are you ready to go? Because I want to go. Like, I said, well, do you have someone else waiting? And he says, no, no one is waiting. That's why I say that when I change the title to this, it's going to be Fannie Lou Hamer. Because if you know the story behind Fannie Lou Hamer, like she's like fighting for voting rights and everything. and they take her off the bus. They put her in jail. She's fighting and standing up for our rights. They put her in jail, and they asked these brothers in jail to beat her. Beat her. So the brothers beat her till they get exhausted. Now, mind you, she died from things connected to this beatdown. Now, this is someone standing up for our rights. Now, this is how I'm looking at this brother who's in the middle. I'm making a complaint for everybody who can't make one. If these people repeatedly, I remember being in there before, and this brother said, I can't stay at this dealership long because they're racist up in here. I said, that's so sad. He said, yeah, they racist up in here. So he's gone. He's gone. Now, here it is, a brother driving their shuttle, hearing me make a complaint about what they did. And I said, I feel discriminated against because you don't ask anyone else to pay for their parts up front. I have the money for the parts. But what if one of us doesn't? And this is a practice that they're doing to women or Black people or people that are both. And he doesn't have time, and you don't have anybody waiting, and you're being paid by the hour, my brother. By the hour. So it doesn't matter. Let the sister protect you. No. So I say to him, do you have someone else waiting? And you could tell by his face he wanted to punch me in the face because I asked him, out of respect, do you have someone else waiting? Because if he did, then I would have to just cut it short, not talk to the general manager right now, this and this and that. But other than that, all he needed to do was say, I'm waiting in the shuttle and I'm going to wait an hour for that lady if I have to. It don't matter. He says, after they tell me the general manager's not there, everything, he says to me, he says to them, I don't feel comfortable driving her. I don't feel comfortable driving her. And they let him get away with it. Because what? Because it's her. Because it's me. Because it's Fannie Lou Hamer. Because it doesn't matter. I don't matter. He doesn't matter. Now, this brother is going to take all of those complaints. Watch. The only thing the general manager, because then after he did that, then I had time to call the Uber to get another way. And then they offered, do you want to rent a car? And I said, no, because I have to start my appointments at 10 o'clock. So I got 5 minutes to talk here with you because I got that Uber. I got the Uber so I can get back so I can, make a difference in this world. But the brother said he had nothing else to do, nowhere else to go, but he saw fit to cut off the complaint that I'm making in order to make the world a better place for customers that come after me. That come after me, not for me, because this ain't helping me, brother. This is helping you. And he couldn't even realize it. He couldn't even realize it. It hurt him, the fact that I was standing up, or I asked him, do you have someone else waiting for you? Because I need to talk to the judge. I'm talking to the boss's boss, his boss's boss. So his boss comes up. Now, this is where it's really I don't like that term, slave mentality, but what else other than that is what he's got? That's really sad. Where is it deep that that I am the only color woman that you would have told your white boss that you're not going to take back to their workplace or home because you don't feel comfortable. She said they don't feel comfortable with me. So look at him you don't feel comfortable with me because I asked him to wait. So he's basically being used to get all of the drop down from my complaint. Now he's going to be looked at as the ugly one. I wonder how many people are out there being used, allowing yourself to be used instead of saying, you know what? They're making a better way for me. Because you know what? If she feels discriminated against, she's discriminated against. And I need not break into the middle of this discussion and then refuse to take her because they don't like her. So they don't like me for complaining. like like the service manager said, I'll give you, like, he didn't say this 2 weeks ago when they were telling me to come back, what date to come back and get the parts put in. But today he says, I'll give you the money back. Probably general manager told him, you know what I mean, y'all gotta make this right. So he thinks he's making it right by making the woman who feels discriminated against shut up. And you know, tell him what they told the brother to do. And he did it. I mean, that manager was so happy that he refused to give me that ride. Y'all, it's time to wake up. We're going into a recession. We're going into a recession of mentality, not economic, mentality recession. So then when I come back up after the brother does that to me, I come back up and the kind Asian man said, your letter, because I wrote the letter to the general manager, said second complaint. Now the driver will not drive me. So I have to spend money on an Uber just to bring my car in because he does not like me. This is sad. And then the nice Asian man says, ma'am, I will put that on the desk of our general manager for you. I said all I wanted to be was acknowledged for what was done wrong to me. And he said, I completely understand. And I understand. That's the way I was brought up, to understand that all the customer wants is to be acknowledged. That's all I want. And I said, I've owned my own business since 1995. This amazes me, the way these businesses get away with this. And we are strategically placed to hurt each other. I was so hurt that the first name that God put in my mind was Fannie Lou Hammer. Like, he was like, I ain't hit you. I ain't hit you. No, you hit all of us, brother, with your commitment to hating me. You beat us all down. We've lost. There's no need for voting rights if you hate me because I fought for it. There's no need for rights if we're gonna hate each other and just be used to beat each other and beat down one another. Because you ain't, oh goodness, Lord. Don't be used, and be inspired by this discussion that we need each other. We all need each other. Don't think that what you do doesn't matter. Like that shuttle driver, he thinks that what he does doesn't matter, and it does. It's 10:01. Y'all have a wonderful day. I don't have any comments, and I don't know if that's because, like, y'all got in late, I ain't scheduled, and you don't know what to say. But we gotta make sure, like, saying nothing is wrong too. So when you see something that's wrong, like that Asian man, he spoke up. He said, "Ma'am, this is wrong. You shouldn't be treated this way." Be that man. Be that man when you see a woman standing up for what is right. Be that man that stands up with her. Be that man that says, "I will not beat her down. I will not hurt her. I can only be used for good. I know that she's hurting. I know that she was done wrong, and I'm not going to contribute to that hurt." Let's heal together. May God bless us and release us from whatever might be making us hurt each other. In Jesus' name, amen. And however you worship. That Asian man that stood up for me, he might not be Christian, but ultimately he had God in his heart. He had God in his heart. Religion is not it. It's God. And be godly. All of us, let's be godly. And it's not ungodly to stand up for right. That is our responsibility of our relationship with God, to look out for those who cannot look out for themselves. And I'm giving my life to that. Love you.